Hi, so welcome to Rise and Vibes. Tonight episode is sponsored by Dunk Parts. If you guys are looking for anything dunk related, make sure that you guys go follow Dunk Parts. And if you're looking for anything G-Body related, make sure you go follow G-Body Parts Connect. So tonight's guest is 57 Freddy, and Freddy has actually been coming on the show every year for the past 4 years. Fact that he takes time out of his busy schedule to get on every single year, which is super, super dope. And
Hi,
hey,
how are you?
listen, every,
Y-
every year I be so stressed out.
Boy, I've been trying to make it here for 2 days. No, since Sunday. I had to change my flight on Sunday, and then the flight got canceled yesterday like 3 times. So I've been trying to get here since Sunday. I literally just got off the plane.
Oh man, I just appreciate it. Like every year, I feel like some years the window is a long amount of time, or some years the window is a short amount of time. But again, I just appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to get on and talk to us.
You already know we got to do what we got to do.
It's a yearly thing now. You know, it's been 4 years.
4 years, bro. Who would
I
have
was
ever
looking
thought?
back at the old clips yesterday. I started to post all the old clips. I said, I'm going to do a little clip. I'm going to do a little reel one day with all the clips over the years.
That's unreal that we're on our fourth annual.
Right, right. So,
Yeah.
what has changed from the first year to this year?
Um, for me, is it's the quality of the cars are definitely getting better.
Right,
We're transitioning, getting the hot rodders in, like high level hot rods, and um, now like the lower truck industry starting to pay attention to us, and the bigger sponsors as well.
right.
Now we got Harley Davidson on board.
Mm,
Scott's Hot Rods is on board this year. Rockford Fosgate, that which we had last year, but they're back at it again this year. So it's pretty cool. You know, we got SEMA too as well. That's crazy. They're out here
what?
already. Yeah, they get here on Thursday.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So one of the questions that the fans had was, are there any plans to start trying to make sure that all the same type of cars are in the same areas so that like when y'all call out a person, the fans can see that actual car. Like if it's say it's a box Chevy, so all the box Chevys will be in this place or all the dumps.
No, because car shows don't work like that. Normally, crews want to hang out with their own crews, so they all want to park together. So no, that's not gonna happen. It's impossible. Like I can't separate, the boys from each other. Oh, well, you're a box Chevy, you park over here, Cutlass park over there.
Right.
Then the crews are not together. So no, that's we're gonna keep it the way it's supposed to be.
Okay. Okay. What's the most stressful part leading up to the show for you?
Everything's stressful. I mean, now I guess like corporate events, so now we're incorporating corporate events and stuff like that, which that's not really my thing. So I'm kind of like learning to deal with that.
Mhm.
But I guess that kind of politicking is something I don't like to do.
Right, right. So here's a major question I had. Right, I never pay attention to when they start going back and forth about who's going to win the best whatever. Right, because it's not my circus or my monkeys. Right, but how are you feeling about the dunks this year? They are really, really, really going at it. They're like,
The
it's crazy.
the thing with them, those boys are like the hype kings. They love the internet, they love the attention. And those guys do what they do. So every year it's the same thing when it comes to those guys. If you always notice, those are the guys that really turn it up.
Right,
Um, which is cool, but it's also sad in another way, because a lot of the other cultures don't, they always say, oh, well, we favorize the dunk guys, or we favorize Florida, which is not the
right,
case. It's just that those guys understand the marketing part of it. They want the position.
right,
They want to be known for what they do to their cars. So they take the initiative and they get it done. So uh somebody has to come in and take them out of their place if they feel like, we favorize them too much, then step up.
Right.
Let's see what you guys about. We don't get tagged by certain dudes. You know how that goes, the politics when it comes to this stuff. But if you want the spot, you got to come get it. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you because we're not giving none to nobody. If you want it, boy, you got to put yourself out there, and you got to let us know that you really want it.
Absolutely. What is what's the part that the part that your favorite part of all this?
My favorite part,
Mm-hmm.
getting over it.
I was
That's it. Once it's over.
thinking that.
It's just vibing with the people. Actually seeing the new cars, seeing what's coming out, what these guys are really doing behind. Seeing all their projects, all the stuff that they've been working on throughout the year. So to me, that's like the cool part.
Right.
Mingling with the people, networking and talking.
Right. Right. What's the downside of this for you? Is there a downside?
No, it's not a downside. This is all a win for us. We never thought uh, that this will turn out to be what it is today.
Right.
This was just a joke between me and Ross. It was something something that we did for fun. Let's just do it and see what happens. And for it to be on such a big stage, uh, is great. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Is there anything? Oh, I know. So, do you happen to know the categories off the top of your head?
Uh, which will be the same. Car of the year, um, donk, hot rod,
Right.
motorcycle. And then this year, if the guys make the criteria, which is a 50 car entry to make the class,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do a truck key class and we're gonna do a box Chevy class. But
Oh,
it has to be a 50 minimum registration to make it click.
okay.
So the keys are done. It's just a fact if we're gonna get 50 box Chevys to come out this year, and if we're gonna get 50 trucks to come out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 50 is a lot. Hopefully they get it because I know the Box Chevy guys really, really want to participate in it. So hopefully y'all definitely can get the Box Chevys. I'm not sure if that'll be a thing that'll be something that'll happen, but I'm hoping because I know the Box Chevy guys are really, really, really looking forward to that. I think we might have lost them guys. Oh, here we go. All right, I think we lost him, but he should come right back. Oh, let me see. Oh, accept.
Yeah, I got got
Okay.
got booted
Oh, you're all
off.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope y'all make the Box Chevy class, especially because I know them Box Chevy guys are definitely looking forward to trying to get a
I,
key. Do
I
you?
know.
I know it's kind of. It does it hurt you that you can't like? Because I know everybody probably got a favorite car, but you really can't be biased when it comes to the cars.
I have my opinion, but those are my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I stay out of it.
Right.
Ross stays out of it. Um,
Right.
but of course, I have my favorite. I have my opinions on who I think should be the winner.
Mm-hmm.
But it just doesn't work like that. So, um, like I said, it doesn't really matter what I think. So
Right.
we let the judges do what they do. We trust on what calls they make, and that's what we're gonna go with.
How many judges do you guys have?
We have 12. Yeah,
What?
we bring in 12 judges. It's not like one or two. We
That's
bring
a lot.
12. Yeah, it's a
That's a
lot.
lot.
It's a lot. I think last year was it was like 13. I forgot how many, but definitely this year we got 12.
Mm-hmm.
So last year we brought more. And the year before that, I think we brought like 15. So imagine it's a lot of bumping heads. There's a lot that goes on
Right.
behind. I've seen them going at it and I just walk right by them. I'm like, oh, good luck.
Do y'all tell the judges how y'all want them to judge? Do they do like a point system, or that you just let them?
That's what they do for a living. Those
Mhm.
guys judge Riddler cars. They judge trucking events. They judge lowrider events. They judge everything. Those guys are, that's what those guys do.
Mhm.
And not only are they're not only judges, but they're also car builders themselves.
Right.
So, these guys are just not, these regular people. This is what these guys do. They have a history in this. Those guys been doing this for 30, 40 years. You know, these
Right.
guys are older men that started in the 60s, you know,
Yeah.
60s and the 70s messing with cars. So those guys are some of those guys are even champions in their own categories and the things that they were into.
Hmm.
So we got uh Mario Lopez, which was like a 2 or 3 time champion in with the car that he had. So um like I said, we let them do what they do. We don't get involved in that.
Right.
But I have my opinion. I already know. I already
Listen,
yeah, I already have it.
you know, as a reporter, I cannot say on here, but I listen. I never paid attention to certain people started dropping certain stuff, and I was like, oh man, oh man, that's what's up.
You gotta you gotta be a student though. Like these guys, if you get caught in the internet hype,
Right.
um, this shit can take you like it'll just throw you all over the place.
Right.
But I'm like a student of the game. Like I'm the dude that goes to car events. Not only do I go to the donk stuff, but I go to everything. You know, I
Right.
do low ride events, I do hot rod events, I do good guys, I do everything. Autorama. I mean, I go to every car event that I can possibly go
Right.
to, and I
Right.
study. Like I study. Like I
Right.
pay attention to everything. So even with like the judges this year, we were debating some cars, and I had my opinion, and they had theirs. And when I finally showed it to them, they were like, "Damn, Jesus!" They say you had an eye, but we ain't know you were that skilled, you know. But of course, I don't, I'm not getting involved in their stuff. But I was like, no, look, 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 look.
Right.
So,
I consider myself a student of the game too, cause you know what, I said I wanted to go to all this stuff, so I started going to Barrett Jackson. I started going to all these different things. I got a homeboy who works with Barrett Jackson, and so it's a lot. Ed, my homeboy. So it's a lot of different things that I wanted to do, not just going to like urban car events. So I can respect people being students of the game.
correct.
Um, what do you say to the person that feels like um because of all the internet hype now their car is not quote unquote up to standard?
No, that's not true. You got to fight your own game. Like, don't build a car. Man, I don't build cars for nobody. I build cars for myself. I don't even build cars for shows. Don't talk to
Right.
me about a show. Don't talk to me about building. Oh, I need my car for this day. The car's ready when it's ready. I'm building a car for you.
Right.
So with that being said, um, bro, build at your own pace. Build at your own budget. Don't fall for the hype of what's going on. You don't know what these guys are doing to get the money that they're doing to build these cars. You don't even know the headaches and the stress that these guys got to deal with
Right.
to put these cars together.
Right.
So play in your own league, to be honest with you.
And a lot of people don't even know. I'm not sure if a lot of people even know this. Like for example, Flacco, uh straight dump rider as his Instagram name, been building that car since 2022.
Longer than that.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Longer than that.
So
Let me see,
so
20. Yeah, that's when he kind of like got back on it. But for the most part, he's been building that car for like 6, 7 years.
right. Right.
Yep. You know, now in the last couple, the thing that was happening now is everybody that saw this show the first year back in 22,
Mm-hmm.
they of like waited it out to see what was really going to happen.
Right.
And now that, after that car show, they said, okay, we're coming. But realistically speaking, you cannot build those kind of cars in a year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not realistic. You're building trash ass work. You can't, time, paint takes time to cure. It's just a lot that goes in it. So if you can do it in a year, cool. But I know for a fact you're not building A1. You're cutting corners to get that car done in that time. But for the most part, now we're in 2025. So now these cars that started in 2022, when they saw this wave, this is their time. That's it. It's the 2 year mark, 3 year mark. Now these quality cars are starting to come out, and that's what you're gonna start seeing.
Right.
Because that's it. It's time. It's 3 years later, 4 years later. So
So I noticed the change this year where you guys did a media day the other day, and then I see you're doing a party Friday. What's up with the party?
A party is just the party that we're doing is more like a networking sponsorship vibe. You know, get the guys out there so they can meet with these bigger companies and network with these companies. See if these guys can get sponsorships,
Right.
raise sponsorships for their cars, whatever they need. So we're just gonna do it in a closed setting. You know, something a little bit less chaotic,
Right. Right.
and see, you know, see if these guys can, you know, help these guys out, because it takes a lot of money to go on the road, do these events. If they can get help with parts, you know, travel, whatever they can get donated to their cars, that'll be great. So that's kind of like what I'm trying to do with this event on Friday.
You know, I tell people that all the time. I mean, I understand how pride works and the pride thing, but listen, if you cannot have to spend your own money to do something, I don't care. Spending somebody else's money is way always better than spending your own money. So
Of course.
why wouldn't you want to get sponsorships and want to, you know, do something different outside of? Because I'm telling you right now, if I can get any type of sponsorship building my
Running with it.
car, I'm gonna take it.
But that only happens in this culture.
Right.
You know, this culture finds a way to bring the next man down. There's no uplifting here. There is no positive push towards helping each other. Is, you know, it's I get being competitive. You know, I'm a competitive ass dude.
Right.
Probably ain't gonna be nobody more competitive than me.
Right.
But I don't wish like I just don't wish, you know, some of the shit that I see these guys say, man, I just be like, bro, if you guys don't understand that we're stronger, which was something that I told Coke. You know, I told Coke one day, I was like, yo, bro, you know, you guys are going through your issues and whatever the case is, but trust me when I tell you, you guys are stronger together. You know, you just got to find a way uh to make it work for you.
Right.
You know, whatever the next man's doing may not work for you, but
Right.
don't, you know, you got to figure it out. But I'm telling you right now, you guys are stronger as a unit. And despite, you know, them parting ways, those guys parting ways, you can tell that they don't have the impact that they once had. You know, it's not how it was when it first started. But, you know, that's just them in their level. Now I'm speaking on my level, which is way bigger. You know, I want to go after, you know, me and Ross are talking about corporate, you know, going after these real big guys.
Right.
So of course I have to kind of pull a bigger masses together.
Right.
But you know, you know, understand we get the hate, but I'm telling you right now, bro, don't worry about what I'm doing. Just understand that I'm positioning myself to get to a place to where when I get there, I'm coming back for other people.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
I don't need to prove a point with a car. Um, hold on a sec. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's amazing. Like I feel like it has been a situation where I think a it's a quote. It says, "When you're more fortunate than others, you should build a longer table, not a taller wall." And I think a lot of people don't really understand that. Um, I do think we're moving towards a culture where more people are starting to practice that. It's sad and unfortunate that people move like they don't need anybody because everybody needs somebody. I'm just gonna be honest. You know, I would be remiss if I say I didn't need somebody. We all need somebody, and that's part of the problem. People try to act like they don't need anybody, and everybody's belittling the next person, and that's just not how it should be. You know, I that's why a lot of times I just don't say anything. Um, Freddie dropped off for a second. He should be joining back in just a second, guys. But because he's at the airport, we had to kind of do this on the fly. This is year 4 of the Rick Ross Car Show. So every year before the show, he comes on. He's a guest every single year, and a lot of times he's moving around, getting everything ready for the show. So this year is no different. He's at the airport trying to get. He just got back to Atlanta, so. Um, but yeah, I think when you weren't on here, I was saying there's a quote, and it says, "If you're more fortunate than
Oh,
others, you
that
should
can't be
build
a
up."
normal. Texas must be making money.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that.
Oh, you okay?
No, yeah.
There's
No, go ahead. I hear
there's
you.
a quote that
Oh, you on the
says,
phone,
"If
so.
you're more fortunate than others, you should build a longer table, not a taller wall, or not a
Correct.
taller fence." And I think a lot of people act like it's an issue to reach back and bring other people with you. And I can appreciate you saying that that's your
Yeah,
goal.
uh you know, these guys, you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna dim, you know, what I got going on, you know what I'm saying. My financial, you know, my financial freedom's already built, you know, so anything from here on in is just a positive.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying, you think you know, you let's just hypothetically say, oh well, you know, we're gonna boycott, you know, and not fuck with them no more, or whatever the case is. You're not gonna affect my money.
Right.
You know, my money comes in on the first. You know, the first the first to the fifth, my money comes in no matter what.
Right.
So um if that's the reason that you guys, you know, don't want to unite and don't want to get together because, you know, you guys are checking what Ross got going on, well, you guys are sadly mistaken if you think you're gonna crush that man
Mm-hmm.
and think that whatever you guys are trying to do is gonna affect him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this doesn't make a dent in his lifestyle. You know, we do this because, you know, I do it for him because it gives him enjoyment. It gives him a weekend for him to be regular and get to do something that he's, brother, we've talked about this for over a decade.
Right.
Him wanting to do something like this and feel this way. This is the only thing he looks forward to besides like his kids, anything like outside. This is the only thing that he looks forward to. Like, yo, I
Right.
can't wait for that event to come back so I can vibe and kick it, you know, and just enjoy cars and talk that car talk that he likes to talk.
Right.
So, um, um, you know, like I said, it's might as well just get in gear, boy, because if we got plans.
Well, I saw he made a post saying that he was probably going to change the venue to somewhere else
Yeah,
because he wants to do some renovation to the promised land.
yeah, we have I came up with another idea, which it'll be, you know, great. I kind of got to finish finalizing it,
Mm-hmm.
but he kind of loved it when I told him. We just haven't had a chance to sit down, and it kind of worked perfect because now he wants to renovate the house.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of like felt. I was surprised that he even said it today,
Mm-hmm.
but I think
Yeah. So
I think it'll be a great idea what we have planned for, you know, for 2026. It'll give the fans a little bit uh more, make it more accessible
right.
the way that we want to do it next year.
Right.
So
Um.
because we understand, you know, times are hard too. You know, the money's not how it was, you know, COVID time.
Oh yeah. You saying the PPP money ran out?
Oh, definitely that shit. Where you know that shit right now. So, you know, it's back to normal, and we get it. So we're gonna make it easier for you guys, you know, 2026, because a lot of people still, you know, we still get the calls. Hey man, we're trying to get out there, man, but you know, this shit kind of crazy. Plane tickets are getting on the road. You know, it gets expensive,
Yeah.
which is the reason some of the guys I want to do this event on Friday. So, you know, instead of spending four, five, $10,000 on parts, now they have a company that's giving them these parts, and now they can allocate those funds into getting on the road.
Absolutely.
So, you know, trying to make it a little better.
Well, that's dope. So I wanted to, I'm all about making sure that I give people their flowers while they are here to smell them. What I want to say to you from as for me personally, right? Ever since I've known you, which is now 4 years, you have always made sure you made coming on Rise and Vibes a priority. And there are people in this car culture that I have known way longer that have never prioritized the show. So from me to you, I want to tell you thank you for always remaining the same with me. Like I can pick up the phone and call you, or you know what I'm saying? You've always been the same person with me, and I really, really appreciate it.
You're
So
welcome.
I can't speak for nobody else, but I'm not gonna let nobody say nothing bad when it comes to my relationship with you, because I know how you have went out of your way to make sure every year you came on the show.
Yeah,
If I need to pick up the phone and ask you something, you gonna pick up the phone, or if you don't pick up the phone right then, you'll call me back or text me later Sometimes it may take a day or two because you're busy, but you always make sure you treat me like a priority. And not only is that amazing for just somebody in the car culture, but as a female in the car culture, I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. I appreciate it. But yeah, any like there, it's crazy because a lot of people have like this perception of me because I come off very standoffish. But I got my personal reasons why, basically, my accident and my shooting and stuff.
Right.
So it keeps me more on the defense side. So I kind of like, scope things out 1,000 times before I make a move. But if anybody's ever needed me, guys that have hit me up, anytime somebody needs me, I'm always there. I've donated so much. I'm even one of the guys, these guys sell parts and stuff like that.
Right.
Bro, if I had a part and you called me, you guys, bro, there's so many cars that are riding around with parts that I donated, stuff that I had. You need to come get it. Don't even worry about it.
Right.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Right.
So I've always been one of the guys to always help out, no matter what the situation is, Even with rivals, even younger. I remember, back in the day, had like a little car rivalry with some dudes. And one day I'm crossing a light, driving, and I see the guy broken down on the side of the road. I pulled over, helped him push his car, and he was like, "Bro, you're the last person I would have ever thought that will help me push my car to the side of the road."
Right.
And probably like 2-3 weeks ago, we were going at it, in the streets, just trash talking each other and beefing. Car beefing, not physical stuff, just the typical car shit talking shit, and just at a random light, he was just there, broken down. So
Right.
I've always been like that. As long as it's car stuff, I'm with it.
Right.
And even with the trash talking, it's good for the sport. So I'm all in. I love it, but there's just certain things that I just won't cross. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things I'm not gonna say.
Right.
But it's also needed. That was just a little off topic thing.
Oh no, you okay? But
Yeah.
you know what? I understand where you're coming from because, like I said, Rise of Vibes September 2nd will be 6 years. But I had to learn what to and what not to say. You get what
Correct.
I'm saying? You have especially the more you grow on social media and the more you grow just in life and in your status in life, you do have a certain responsibility on things that you should and should not say. You never know who's watching. You never know what type, what will come from what you say.
Correct.
So I kind of equate it to whom much is given, much is required.
Absolutely.
So, so the party Friday. Give us the details on the party Friday. What's going on with that?
Well, like I said, it's like a networking type of event. We're gonna bring in all the corporate companies. SEMA's gonna be there. Rockford Fosgate, all the big companies. The mayor's coming out supposedly.
What?
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Oh, Andre coming.
Yes. So that's gonna be a vibe, and just gonna invite some of the key car guys that I kind of want to help put in position.
Right.
Invite them out. I invited G Dog. He can come out and do his thing. Some of the social photographers and social influencers from Instagram and stuff like that. But more on a grown up thing. It's not no street stuff. Not what we're gonna do on Saturday. Not what we're doing this weekend. I want to teach these guys that you got to throw on that suit. Let's get it together.
Right.
So that's
you
what
gotta
we're
get
doing.
corporate every once in a while.
You got it, yeah, bro. You gotta be able to throw that suit on and let these people know.
All right. So, I know I didn't want to take up too much of your time because I know you've been traveling and you're trying to get in and get ready for the next couple of days. Is there anything else that you had to say or you wanted to say before I let you get out of here?
Well, you already know tickets are on sale at rickrosscarshow.com. And once again, the 4th annual Rick Ross Car Show at the Promised Land.
Freddie, I appreciate you coming on again. This is year 4 of you coming on the show every year before the car show. And I know I'll talk to you before then, but I'll definitely see you again next year, same time,
You
same.
already.
I
Well,
don't know what day it's gonna be.
you know, you know,
Sometimes we
you know
do it.
what's what's
Go ahead.
crazy is like every time we do this is like on some mass hysteria. It's always like on some wild stuff. I ended up the flight ended up leaving late. I was like, man, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it to the show. She gonna be calling me and I ain't gonna be answering the phone. She think I'm dodging her. But as soon as I landed, I hit you. Like the plane landed. As soon as I got service, I texted you. I was like, yo,
No,
I'm running
I
late.
know you. That's one thing I can say about you. You don't never dodge. If you can't do it, you would let me know. But you like I know one year we did it maybe the Friday the night before the
Mhm.
show,
Correct. I
right? You was
remember
walking around in the yard getting
the year
stuff together.
before. The year before.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then the first year I think you was sitting in your office.
Yeah.
2 years I think you was sitting in your office, or you might have been sitting at Ross' house. But one year you was walking around in the front yard. I was like, let me just talk to him for 5-10 minutes
Yeah.
and get our interview out the way. But again, I greatly appreciate it because you don't have to do this. And like I said, if somebody follows the show, they know I don't pay guests, none of that. So y'all taking time out of your busy schedule to come on is super, super, super appreciated.
No, I already like I even said it today. I was like, I got because I forget everything. You know what? I forget everything. And this one I don't forget. I was like, I gotta get on that live at 9 o'clock. I can't forget that live at 9 o'clock.
Well, I appreciate you so much. We will see you Friday and then again
Yes.
Saturday and then maybe Sunday or the rest of the weekend you'll be able to get some rest. But for
Sunday we're doing there's a flyer. I'm gonna put it back up again.
mhm.
Sunday we're gonna do. I'm actually bringing my cars this year. I'm bringing three of my cars this year,
What?
which is something I never do. But
What?
I'm not taking them to the show. I'm gonna leave them there at the house in the garage.
Mhm.
But Sunday I'm putting them out in the streets. We're gonna do like this little lowrider hangout. I wanna
Mhm.
hop. So any hoppers in Atlanta, they want to do something. They got a little money. They want to hop. Let me know. You gotta have a clean car. I don't hop against buckets. So just letting you guys know. But we're gonna do a little event on Sunday with
Mhm.
the local lowrider clubs from out here, Individuals and Obsession, which they're like kind of like the biggest car clubs out here.
Mhm.
And of course we got LA dudes coming into town. We got dudes from New Jersey, Cincinnati. We got a bunch of the lowrider community guys coming out.
Mhm.
So we just want to hit the streets and kind of bang for a little while.
Right. And then I you don't really pull your cars out a lot.
Nah, I don't have time to. It's crazy. They're always ready. My cars are always ready, like at any given time. I always, at least the maintenance part of it,
Mhm.
um, they're always on point. The thing is getting them out. I ship them
Right.
out. I ship them to LA twice a year. I fly over there and use them over there.
Mhm.
But Miami, the weather's too hot. Uh, and I kind of just wait till like, the cold, end of December to like February, March. If I'm lucky, I can get them out a couple times through that time span. But the rest of the time, they stay parked. If not, they're in LA, which
Well,
gets
I'm pretty
expensive.
sure
Which gets
everybody can't.
expensive.
Oh yeah. Listen, I ain't have no idea when because I grew up in Florida, so I always thought Dunks was super,
On the
like
left side,
probably
on
the
the
most
right side.
expensive cars to put together. But once I started being friends with TJ Avenue
Yeah.
Convertibles, he in the
Yeah, yeah,
Lowrider Hall of
yeah,
Fame.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
when he started showing me and telling me how much them lowriders
Oh,
cost, I was like, oh,
but
Dunks ain't got nothing on lowriders.
nothing, bro, nothing. Now is when this scratching the surface.
Hmm.
Those guys were playing $200,000-300,000 cars back in like late '90s.
Right,
And you could see the money in the car. It's like it wasn't no misspent money.
right.
You see those cars and you're like, oh wow, there's a lot of money in this thing. But yeah, those guys were dumping $200,000-300,000 back in the late '90s.
Them guys was
There's right
engraving and
now,
all
yeah,
kind of stuff.
yeah,
I
but
was
this
like,
guy,
hey,
no,
that's
those guys,
crazy.
yeah, those guys are different. The LA culture is different.
Well, Freddie, I greatly appreciate it. I know you probably want to get at least a few hours of sleep after to try to be ready for tomorrow.
Yeah,
But congratulations in advance.
thank
Year
you.
4 of the Rick Ross Car Show. And again, thank you for coming on Rising Vibes every single year before the show. And we'll see you this weekend. And of course, we'll see you again as a guest. I don't know if you'll be back before, but if not, I know we'll see you around this time next year as a guest
You
again.
already know this is a tradition.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Take care. All right,
Have
bye.
a good one.
Bye.
All right, guys. So if y'all missed any of tonight's episode of Rise and Vibes, make sure that you catch the full replay on YouTube. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel by clicking the link in my bio. It'll be the 2025 updated YouTube that the interview will be on. If you also want to subscribe to the old YouTube channel, which has all the interviews back from 2019 going forward, you can do that as well. But thank you guys for tuning in to tonight's episode of Rise and Vibes. I'll see you guys next week for another episode. And thank you. Good night.